guys. So I'm going to be talking about yoga, and if you guys don't know what yoga is, it's a body and mind soother, and it has been used for many generations. It originates from northern India, and it's been around for about 5,000 years, and it was introduced to America during the 18th century. So you guys may be wondering, how can yoga help you? And I'm hoping over the next couple minutes I can answer that question for you. So how I got interested in yoga is my mom did it every day when I was a kid, and I was kind of just like, whatever, that's what my mom does, like I'm not interested. And she kept telling me about all the benefits, and I was like, you know what, like that sounds kind of interesting. So like over the last June, a couple months ago, I took a class and I really liked it, and I've been doing it every day since, and I've noticed all the benefits she told me about in my everyday life, and yeah, I've been hooked on it and it's amazing. So yoga has many benefits, and they're a variety. I mean, it's a lot more than you'd think. And today I'm going to cover exactly what yoga is, how it benefits us, and all of the different types of yoga. So many people can think of different things when yoga is said, and I'm going to try to go over what that means. But we're going to start with what is yoga. So a lot of people think of the physical aspect of yoga, but a study done at Harvard Medical School says that yoga is a body and mind practice. It has also become a top complementary approach to health according to the National Institute of Health. So it integrates your mind, your body, and your spirit all together, and it targets the goal of helping your balance, your calmness, harmony, and awareness. So classic yoga tradition is used for selflessness and your spiritual enlightenment. So through classical yoga traditions, it's made up of 4 components. And the first one is posture, which is what you're like physically doing, which is also known as poses. So I'm going to show you some poses. This is warrior. This is downward facing dog. I'm sure this is, most people know what this is. And then this is the tree pose. So next I'm going to dive into breathing practices. So that's what you kind of do during your yoga flow, and you focus a lot more on your breath than you'd think. Like instead of counting time, you count through your breaths. So let's say you're trying to do a pose for 30 seconds. Instead of saying counting to 30, you would go through 3 breaths. Deep relaxation is also super important during your whole flow, but the peak of your relaxation is at the very end. And how I get to my peak relaxation at the end is through corpse pose. So it's pretty much where you just lay completely on your back, and as long as you need, and if you try it, you can really feel you just feel so relaxed. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like an out-of-body experience. But yeah. And then lastly, I'm going to go over meditation, and that's when you're thinking really clearly throughout your flow of yoga. And if you do really focus on your meditation throughout your flow, then it can help with your growth during your practice. So I've gone over the 4 components, and now I will tell you about some benefits. So according to the 2012 Yoga in America survey, 4 out of the 5 reasons people start yoga is for the physical aspect of it. So flexibility, general fitness, health improvements, and just overall physical fitness. So some of the physical benefits from yoga they're amazing. I mean, they lower your blood pressure, they can strengthen your muscles, body flexibility, and they also reduce inflammation and gives you energy throughout your day. And then as far as for mental benefits, it can help reduce stress, depression, it creates mental clarity, it can sharpen concentration, and it also relaxes your mind. And then with that being said, I'm going to talk about the 3 most important types of yoga. So this is Hatha yoga. This is probably if you know anything about yoga, this is probably what you've heard about. It's just a practice of physical postures, and it's the most popular form of yoga. It combines your breathing and poses, and it's often held for a few breaths. According to the exercise physiologist Richard Weil, Hatha is a great way to stretch, work your muscles, get in touch with your body, relax, and decrease stress. So this is Vinyasa yoga, kind of a weird word, but this is the practice of moving with your breath, and it's often done with props, as you can see. So when you do this, you inhale and then you transfer to a different pose, and then when you exhale, you move to another pose. And these are often held for a little bit longer than some of the other forms. All right, so I hope you guys after this are inspired to give yoga a try, and if any of you have tried yoga, I hope you can go further into it and try some new stuff. Today we have learned many new things about the topic of yoga. We went over exactly what yoga is, the benefits of yoga, and the 3 types of yoga. So in closing, if you want to try yoga, then remember it's supposed to be fun and don't judge yourself, and it's always a great experience. So thank you and namaste. Any questions?
So when you were talking about meditation, about how it helps you think clearly, do you think like meditation during yoga or just meditation in general would help people who have like, say, anxiety?
Yeah, I have anxiety. I just have like generalized anxiety, and I do meditation like outside of yoga, and like, I don't know, meditation is different within yoga, but it's kind of just more of that mindset while you do like go through your flow. And it's just like very calming. Like it definitely does help with anxiety. So I would recommend to anyone that has anxiety. Yeah.
Are you familiar with foam rolling?
Yes.
Or the foam roller?
Yes.
Would that be also kind of considered like a form of yoga? Or
I think it could be.
Benefits at least?
Yeah, like you could probably use it as a prop, like as I showed during one of the forms of yoga. You could probably use it as a prop, and like I've done like the foam rolling when I'm like sore after working out and stuff.
Me too. That's
But
what I've done it for. So
yeah, but you could definitely, like if you do like the yoga videos, they'll use props, and I've seen people use the foam things.
Actual foam rollers for like the acro.
Yeah,
like, just
yeah.
like,
I'm sure if you did it in a certain way, obviously if you just took it and you were like rolling it, that's probably not yoga. But
right. Exactly.
I think it could
like
be
the
used in a
slow
way.
ones that are controlled and you,
Yeah.
you know, exhale and you inhale like
Yeah,
really
that could
controlled.
definitely
That's
be.
what I do too. That's so
Yeah, that
like,
can definitely be a form
so I
of
guess that
yoga.
happened.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, any other questions? Yeah, what's up?
So you mentioned the corpse pose, is that what you called it?
Yeah.
So I remember I did yoga when I was younger, and we always did that at the end. And I'm curious, do you normally do that at the end of every time that you do
Yeah,
yoga?
so like at the end, like is the peak relaxation of the whole flow, and that's like a pose that, I mean, not everyone does that at the end, but for me, I've learned that it really helps me get to that point of relaxation. So yeah.
Cool, thank you.
Okay, is that all? Okay, cool. Thank you.